Matt, were you disappointed the crowd booed Adam Goods yesterday?
We love our fans. I think you saw a couple of weeks ago the level of respect we showed to Adelaide Footy Club and the Phil Walsh scenario. So yesterday was a little bit disappointing, but I think, I don't know where it's coming from, so we'll just leave it at that.
It was loud, like really loud throughout the game, and for a teammate of his to recognise how loud it was and to react in such a way, you must have heard it during the game as well? Yeah,
it was noticeable. It's a bit of a sheep mentality, I suppose. The first couple were pretty quiet, and then it picked up a little as. So it's a little bit disappointing.
Is it uncomfortable when you're playing in that situation and you're hearing and you're knowing what it is?
No, we're pretty focused on what we need to be doing on field, and to the boys' credit, that's what we were able to do.
What would your message be for the West Coast fans who are booing Adam Goods?
I think it's an AFL issue at the moment. It's not just West Coast fans, but I think a level of respect needs to be shown to all players, regardless.
So you, as the Brown medalist as well, from the AFL community perspective, do you urge everyone to stop booing Adam Goods?
100%. Adam is a great citizen, an AFL great, two-time Brownlow medalist, and he deserves a lot of respect.
The stuff that we're talking about now, instead of second on the ladder beating Sydney by 52 points and where you are this time of the season?
Well, that's what we're focusing on. We're in control of our own destiny. We want to finish as high as we can, and we're excited about that.
That high as you can. Now, with 6 games to go, second on the ladder, 3 games and percentage in the 4. Outside of the 4 finish now would be a disappointment for the playing group.
We've got Gold Coast this week. We need to win that game, and like I said, we're in control of it. We can finish as high as we want, really. So that's exciting.
Are you playing better football than last year?
I think it really helps with the way our team's playing at the moment. We're playing great team defence, great team offence, and that helps all individuals. So, yeah, that's great.
So that would mean that you are probably playing better because there's players around you that are playing better and making you look better?
Well, the team's playing great footy, so we're all playing our role, we've all improved. So that's where it's come from.
See what I said yesterday, the guys just have a tremendous amount of belief in the team defence system. Can you tell us how well he's been able to educate the guys on it in terms of their ability to pick it up so quickly over the 18-month period?
I can't speak highly enough of Simo and the entire coaching staff. They're a young group and learning as well. They've all been in the job now for 18 months, so the education has been fantastic, but we're at a level now where we can just play an instinct. So guys are playing with a free mind, and we're just really enjoying our footy. The belief is growing and the excitement's there, so we just love playing footy.
What is it specifically about his teaching style that seems to have resonated with this group?
He's really flexible. He understands each individual. He understands the mood of the group. So, sometimes the meetings will go for longer, sometimes they'll be shorter if, the boys are tired. So our weekly schedules are pretty flexible as well. He'll listen to the leaders and the playing group on what we need, and he's fantastic.
You know what the leadership have more say these days in terms of what's going on around the club with meetings and training?
Adam will listen to the leadership group, but he won't always go with their decision or their advice. So, but he is in frequent discussions with the leadership group on where the players' attitude is at.
How's Will pulled up today after his calf knock yesterday?
Yeah, he's in good spirits. He'll have scans today, so we'll know a little bit more once the results come back.
Is Gov up and moving?
He's actually doing rehab at the moment. He's looking great. So I think most hammies are at least 3 weeks. So best case scenario is Hawthorn.
What did you make of Tommy's performance yesterday?
Fantastic effort to come in, and he probably prepared for Buddy. So he had a big couple of days. First game. Buddy, and then realising half an hour out that he wasn't playing, so he probably had a lot of things going through his mind pre-game, but fantastic. Like all those guys who have come in and debuted for us this year, just played their role, soaked it up, and really had a mature performance.
There's a lot of people saying you're the only team likely to beat Hawthorn at the moment. Is there a real belief that you can beat anyone in the competition?
Yeah, the Hawks are setting the benchmark at the moment. Their skills are what everyone talks about, but I admire them most for their hardness in the contest. They are really setting the standard there. So we'll get through Gold Coast this week, and then that is going to be a really exciting challenge for us. Test ourselves out against the best.
Just back on the individuals, Brad Shepherd's having a phenomenal year. From your perspective, what's he done from being a high-round draft pick that was unsure of his role and wasn't quite settled in the side to becoming a bona fide top-grade intercept defender in the comp?
Yeah, I think the injuries to some of our key backs has forced him to play on some big bodies, and the way he's adapted to that role has been fantastic. Like everyone in the squad, he's just grown in confidence and belief in what the team can do, but also what he can do, and he's become a really, really important player for us.
We've seen a lot of debate about how the game's played these days. You guys are ranked second for attack and second for defence, so you're doing both sides of it really well. How are you managing to balance that compared where other teams are either one or the other?
It comes back to just our coaches. They teach total football. So we don't want to just be good at one thing. We want to be good at everything. And, that's part of the development of our side. We're going to keep improving, and that's our main focus.
Has it been a challenge to get both of them going at the same time?
Well, that's probably how you're going to win the flag this year. It's being good at everything. The offence, you have to kick a score, but you've also got to limit the opposition. So it sounds simple, and that's the way our coaches educate it.
Just back to the booing incident, do you believe it was race related?
I don't think so. I think it's just it's been going on a little bit this year, and a bit of a copycat sort of thing.
On the stoppage stuff, you guys haven't suffered the stoppage congestion perhaps that some of the other teams have. How important has Nick been in terms of his ability to hit into space and get guys on the move? Yeah,
I think Nick's taken his game to a new level. He's improving at his craft, so he's not just relying on his leap anymore. He's using his smarts, working closely with Dean Cox, who was one of the best. He's only going to keep getting better too, so I'm just glad that he's reached the level that we all knew he could get to.
Since then, you don't think it's race related. Lewis Gerard obviously did think of it as race related yesterday. Why do you believe it's not? What's that coming from?
I think I've made enough comments about it.
Matt, Simo talks about playing in four game blocks. Whereabouts are you now going into Gold Coast as far as first, second, third or fourth game in that block?
Yep, so 6 games to go. That's our final block. So, we want to start off with a win against Gold Coast, and then we've got some big clashes within this block too. So, 4 or 5 of the sides are in the top 8, so there's no better way to finish off the season.
So you've already got your eye on the Freo, the Hawthorn coming up after the Gold Coast. Is it hard? It must be impossible to ignore that that's coming.
Oh, we know it's coming, but our focus this week will be purely the Gold Coast. But yeah, we're well and truly aware that we've got some great sides coming up, and we're really looking forward to that challenge. We've been preparing all pre-season, all year, to build a game that can stand up in the big ones.
With such a strong, a big travel demand during the season, this is the last block with few weeks to travel. Is that comforting to the playing group?
To the guys' credit, we've been really good home and away this year. We've got good structures in place to help us recover post-away games. So to only have 2 in the remainder home and away games which is good. But whatever we've got to, wherever we've got to play, we'll get the job done.
The distance involved and stuff. Is that the most challenging part of footy going from here to the Gold Coast?
It's a long trip, but the weather's pretty similar to Perth, so that's good.